Alright, I'm live. Welcome to the new Flutter app. This is chapter 5 through 7. Starting out, this covered all of 5, all of 6, and then all of 7, which 7 mostly just being like showing ideas and stuff like that. The actual thing ended with the end of 6. So, I'm going to show off the app. Just an auxiliary, kind of go through. Here's the UI with no expenses are there. It adds a message basically saying there's no expenses, add some. We can go to this plus button in the top corner. We can see this title area dodges the camera and all the UI up top. We can just type in hello world, and then we can set it equal to 40 bucks, leisure. We can drop down this. We can set it equal to work, whatever we want to do. Date works. Can't go anything in the future, which is right, and then we can set it to kind of wherever we want. So let's do September 5th, and then we can save the expense. And so now we have Hello World. It's worth 40 bucks, and so it's going to show up in there. And then kind of just doing another one just for show. We can actually rotate our screen. This works as well. So I can scroll. It's a scroll widget, and then title test, and then we can set it equal to 50. Show different amounts, and then we'll set this one equal to food, and we'll set it equal to Tuesday. So expense. All right. So now we have food, which is 50, work, which is 40. Shows everything working, and then our screen rotation works as expected. It should flip, and then finally back to normal. So that's the app. App is fully working. All right. Next, for our actual code, this is the messiest main file. Normally I don't touch on main in these because they're typically just like void main run out material app, and then it just returns. And this time though, we actually do have some fun stuff going on. So probably the important part of main is these color schemes that we set up, and these are very cool because essentially we're just going to define one color up here. So our light color scheme is going to use this color up here. And now, when we go through, we're going to base all of our colors off of these main colors. So we have K color scheme and then K dark color scheme. One of these is for light. Oh, that's what I forgot to show. One of these is for light mode. One of these is for dark mode. Sorry, real quick. If I come here and then go to settings and turn on dark mode, and then I can go back to my Flutter app, and then it updates this UI to dark mode. It looks pretty nice. Everything works. Sweets. Sorry about that. Dark mode fully working. Anyways, coming over to our color schemes. Here's basically how it works. Is we're gonna set our different parts that we want to be our color scheme. So we're gonna set our cards and our buttons and our data. Essentially, any part of our system that we want to have our color scheme, we're going to essentially set it here in main. And then no matter where we go throughout here, when we create a card or whatever, we're going to use this color scheme that we set in main. Basically stops us from having to call it a whole bunch of times. This is new expense. New expense is how we actually add this screen here. Some fun stuff in here. It's a stateful widget, so we have to have our create state. We have these title controllers, these text editing controllers that basically allow us to change what text is being displayed. And we can kind of see these working down here. This is an alternate way of doing it. But yes, these are pretty cool. We use these down here for the make sure valid title input some of these error messages. Because we can see if I try to send a message, we're going to get this pop-up that is essentially this show dialog box. It's basically saying, hey, you don't have all your values entered. Here's an error message so you can fix it. Title.pop or just .pop, navigator.pop. Basically, if we try to click out of it, doesn't do nothing. We click our cancel button, we're going to pop. So pretty fun, pretty fun. Pop just basically gets you out of a menu. So out of the menu. Our save expense actually does the same thing where it'll pop. Dispose here is really important because these controllers that we built up here are not deleted on their own. And so bit of a funny story. I saw someone on Discord yesterday asking about like, oh, my rammer's leaked, and I think part of that was that they didn't have their .dispose functions, and so essentially, if you don't have this really important piece of code here, you can have situations that your memory gets leaked, basically. So you're going to fill up your stack with a bunch of these, and you'll just never be able to find them. So it's really important to have the .dispose method here. Sorry, kind of moving on. We have this. This is our expenses .darts. So we have a create state, to stateful widget. We have these different functions here, like the show modal bottom screen, the add expense, the remove expense. So these are basically here. Add is up here, opens that next screen. Remove expense, this one we can kind of just swipe easily. Removes the expenses. Essentially what we're doing is, oh, I didn't show it. When we remove one of these, it pops up a little snack bar down here, so what we call these little bottom messages. And then we essentially just create an undo button that we can click, and then it'll add it back, which I should probably demonstrate. H5. That date's okay, leader save expense. So if we delete this, we can undo the delete. Works on either side. And then, yep, there's that. It works. Essentially, same thing, no expenses found, start adding some, and then just other kind of styling and stuff like that. Moving on. Expenses list. This is the actual list that when we create our expenses using this menu, this is where the list is stored. Dismissible allows it to be dismissed. Yeah, this file just basically holds on to our list. Expense item, this is where we declare our items. Not much to comment on. This is kind of all stuff that we touched on in previous sections. Title large and title.theme. This is stuff that we set up using our theme data from our main file. So this is it actually in action. So this is where we're going to use our themes, and we've used them previously in other files too. Finally, last bit is just the chart. This is the actual bar. So these little bars that pop up here is controlled by here, and then we're just checking if it's dark mode, do one thing, if it's not, do another. And then finally our chart, which these are basically just our categories, our little buckets here. And so when we add a item value, it's going to check is it food, leisure, work, or travel. And depending on which one it is, it's going to adjust what we want to show. And then basically it just sums up all the values and returns the value. And then you get how big you want this to be in reference to the other ones. That's kind of all I got. This one wasn't too bad. And then this is all just styling, basically. Oh yeah, this is not too bad. All right, that's all I got.